Somebody told me the other day that their plan to attack social media this year is to post 5 times a day on Instagram. And before I even finish that story, let me say, welcome to the Creators Conversation. My name is Gabriella Martay. I am the CEO, director, owner of Helps Too. And this conversation is made for you. This podcast is for the creative, the entrepreneur, the business owner, whoever is really trying to find the sustainability they need in their business, the next step, the creativity, the marketing power they need to go to the next level. Welcome, welcome. If you're new here, like I said earlier, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment with your name, where you're from. And I feel like I want to do a contest or something. Like if you leave a comment within the first week, because we're just getting started again. I know people are a little slow to catch on to the videos. I will, man, this is hard. I'm coming up with this on the spot. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. We will send you a coupon to our new course, a coupon to get it 50% off called Path to Influence. It's a course that really takes you, if you are kind of new to marketing or feeling like you don't have a good strategy and you don't have the big bucks to pay for a marketing company, we get it. We want to have that resource for people who are starting maybe from step 1, the very beginning, or maybe even step 3, like you're kind of in it, but you're not really getting anywhere like you want to. We're going to help you brand yourself, market yourself, take what you're doing to the next level, find the strategy that works for you. And it's going to be on your own pace with our course, and you're going to be able to reach out to us and get the help that you need. So yeah, there is a link for that in the description of this video. If you want to get more information, make sure you sign up. And if you are listening on a podcast app, there's a link in the show notes. But leave a message on the YouTube video saying who you are, your name, how they call you, what they call you, wherever you're from, and where you're from. And we will send you, well, you might need to leave your email address. Leave your email address, and we will personally email you a coupon, all right? A discount, 50% off to the course. We just did it, okay? So that's what's happening, all right? So let's get back to that story about the person I was just talking to the other day. They said they needed to post 5 times a day. I was doing a strategy session. Fascinating stuff. It was fascinating because I really can't kind of get over it. That's a lot, guys, to post on Instagram 5 times a day. Like if you are doing that, I need you to call me. Like find our business number and call me, or don't, just leave a message. I really want to know, because I don't believe that you have to do that. From the many people we've worked with here, my own social media as a musician, at Helps Too, I don't believe you have to do that to reach people nowadays, to reach the people you really want to commune with and do life with and sell to. You don't have to do that. So today, this podcast is titled, let me just make sure I say it right, 7 things you need to know about social media this year. All right. So I'm going to jump in. All right. Number 1, the first thing you need to know is that not every platform is for everyone. I know you might want to come for me on this, some of you, but if you're still banging your head up against the wall because Instagram is not giving you the attention or the reach that you want, welcome to the club, the Clibbity Club. I had a friend the other day, she's an influencer and she's just getting started, but I love to hear her stories. This is what I'm in this for. I love to hear the stories of you guys who are just getting started, because I understand. I get it. Bridging that gap, it's kind of the funnest part of the journey, I think, at least. And so she is primarily on Instagram. She's a fashion influencer. She gets clothes from really cool companies and they let her model them. Super cool. She's even getting paid, and she doesn't even have more than like 2,000 followers. So I think that's awesome. The girl is working it. But she realizes that Instagram does not have the traction that it used to for her posts. Like she'll post and not get any kind of reach like she used to, and she hates it. And so I was just telling her, like, we had an honest, transparent conversation, and I said, hey girl, maybe you should really start seeing yourself on YouTube. I think YouTube, is a better platform for you long term. I think you could brand yourself as an influencer on there. I really believe your brand would translate onto there. I believe you could even bring your family into it, because I know you love talking about your family and doing these vlogs. I really think you could build your following on there and get bigger brand deals and really make this your full-time gig. And she was like, you know what, Gabby, I think that is a good idea. I mean, easier said than done, right? But like, it's a good idea. Making that transition to something you really, haven't thought about and you're really wanting Instagram to work, that's a tough transition. But the reality is not every platform is for everyone. Some people kill it on Instagram, but others don't. And then they go to, a TikTok or a YouTube and it like blows up for them. Now, there are some other tips I want to give you because not all this happens in a night. I know some of us think it does. And every now and then you get that like 0.00001% of a chance story where someone goes viral. And that's cool. But let's not count on virality. Let's be prolific. And prolific is my word for this year. Prolific means fruitful, not perfect. You're very fruitful, like you're consistent, you're fruitful. So, and a quick rundown of each platform, just so you know if you're brand new to all of this, which you're probably not, but just in case. Facebook, it has a bit of an older crowd now. I hate to say it. Like I'd say like 35 and up are like main users. Well, maybe 30 and up, main users of Facebook that are really like, that's my platform, And yeah, that's what that is. And so it's more for like, I find it in my personal life and in my clients' lives, it's a lot of people who are posting about their day-to-day. They're posting about their kids and they're posting about a recent thing that happened at work. And so, yeah, that's the kind of vibe Facebook has. When it comes to Instagram, you have a bit of a younger crowd, but not the super young crowd. I would say you have people on there that are anywhere from like nowadays, like there's of course people that are going to be outliers of what I tell you, but like the main portion of people on there, I would say are like 22 to probably about like 55. Of course, you're going to find someone on there that's 15. And of course, you're going to find someone on there that's 65, of course. But those are the main people using it. The main like media mix on Instagram right now at the time of this recording. And I hear that they're going back to pictures being the main form of media that they're going to really, really push out and like accentuate. But Reels video is huge on there. Like, it's not hot dog. Well, I guess it's vertical videos. Let's just call it that, not hot dog or hamburger style. We're not in second grade, but in folding papers. Yeah, so that's how that works right now. It might go back to pictures in like 6 months, which could be really cool. That's kind of what we knew from the beginning. And then you have YouTube. I would say the age limit for YouTube is very large because YouTube is like the number 2, I believe right now, search engine on the internet. Crazy. So you have a lot of people on there. You have young people watching their favorite gamer. And then you have, and then little kids watching people play with Barbies. It's the weirdest thing to me, but they do. And then you have older people who are watching talk shows. Like they have talk shows on there. Like it is almost equivalent to TV, if you ask me. So I really believe YouTube, the longevity there for anybody, it's there, if you ask me. Like I think anybody can make a life career out of YouTube as long as they stay a business, And then you have TikTok. That's where you'll find a lot of younger people, but you also have people that are my age and older on there. I'm in my early 30s. So I think, and TikTok is it's all video primarily, and it's a lot looser. It's not as like finessed as like an Instagram or even sometimes a Facebook. A young kid told me that Facebook is like LinkedIn to them. And I thought that was really fascinating. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I getting old? Facebook was the first platform I ever joined. Actually, MySpace and Facebook. And then there's LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very like business oriented. So if you are trying to reach business owners as an entrepreneur, perfect place to be. Perfect place to be. And I just got an idea for one of my clients. Yes. All right. So leave a comment. What is your platform of choice and why? Let me know in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're listening on the podcast app, just say it out loud for everybody in the congregation. Just kidding. All right. So that is number 1. For some reason, my notes jumped to number 3. So I got to make sure I say these right. Number 2, engagement is key. All right. Social media is called social media for a reason. I know a lot of us, it's hard, guys. I get it, right? Social media, we feel like we need it to be taken seriously. There's a lot of vanity metrics that go with it. Brands, if you want to be an influencer, will not really even want to work with you unless you have a certain amount of engagement on your posts. Like I saw, there's kind of like this affiliate brand site that works with artists and different things. They said like, honestly, as of it is right now, February 2023, they say like if you have 450 likes per post on Instagram, they'll work with you, but anything less, they will not work with you. You have to have over 2,500 views on YouTube for them to want to work with you. And that's cool. That's not everybody though, but like that's them. And I thought that was really fascinating because, vanity metrics do matter. I hate to say it, but if you can see them for the good of maybe what you want to do, like if you want to be an influencer that gets brand deals, well, then they are important. But like if it has no bearing on your business, they're not important at all. So I think it's really just good to remember that like no matter what your vanity metrics are, your content will be seen more on pretty much any network if you engage. That's how they have built these networks, to really prize people that like stay on the network, because they, number one, want you on the network to show ads and make money. Hello, come on. Am I pulling the wool out from under your eyes here or over your eyes? How does that go? But yeah, all of this really was started for profit in the beginning. It kind of started out free, but then they kind of like, push things forward, and now it's a totally different environment this year. So make sure you're liking and commenting on relevant people or companies' content. It will naturally help the algorithms, especially like on an Instagram or a TikTok, show your content to people like the ones you are liking and commenting on. They feel like, okay, well, this person is associating, or this company is associating with this kind of person. We're going to push their content out to people that they're associating with, and those people's friends, and then those people's friends. So the more you do that, the more it gets pushed out. And I have done my own personal test. I am such a dork, and I wouldn't say dork, maybe a nerd. I am such a nerd when it comes to this stuff. Like I was in Greece one time, and I was online, like on Instagram in particular, for maybe 3 to 4 hours a day. I was story here, story there, talking here, live here. I was on it. I was commenting. People were commenting back. And not to mention my posts were pretty cool because I was in Greece. So that was dope. And it really changed the way my reach was set up. And so just to encourage you, you can do the same thing in your everyday life. It is a lot of work though. And I have some more tips if that feels overwhelming. So just stick with me. All right. Number 3. There is no growth without consistency. All right. Different for everyone. Consistency can look different for everyone. All right. But you have to figure out what that looks like for you. 5 posts a day. I don't know if that is possible to stay consistent, but it might be 1 post a day, or 1 video a week, 2 videos a week, or 1 video and you take a snippet from that video and post it later in the week. Or it could be every 3 days, but it has to be consistent, because that, like things like Instagram, TikTok, they take consistency very seriously. You showing up, being present. Now, it doesn't have to be regimented, but like you need to consistently show up. Like you might miss a workout one day, but if you show up the next day, that's fine. Like you're still pretty consistent. Like if you look at your year, 365 days up on a wall somewhere, like sure, you might have missed a couple of days in terms of posting or working out or whatever. But like if you are consistently showing up, the algorithms know. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, even Facebook, they know. So make sure consistency is your priority. A lot of people despise this too. This is a little tip, but you can use a scheduler. Now, of course, these social networks would rather see you. And Twitter, guys, we didn't even mention Twitter. Twitter is a great, depending on your industry, is a great resource as well. But a scheduler can truly help you be consistent. If you have a busy life, or you're the CEO of something, or you're trying to get something off the ground, you're doing a lot of things, a lot of hats. I get it. Been there, still there some days. But I think it really does help. And here's how I know. I have a client, and they were kind of like, Gabby, you're using a scheduler to help us with social media, but we really feel like our engagement is down. I'm like, no, your engagement is down because we don't engage on there, number 1. And I actually looked at the metrics. This is why I love metrics. Please look at metrics. Don't just judge based on how you feel, because you might actually miss your wins, all right? Metrics are huge. That's how I make moves. If you don't have metrics in this game of marketing to make moves, you might miss it. Metrics are really like doing a diagnosis, like an MRI on your body when you get hurt, okay? It's the same kind of thing with your company. Make sure you look at metrics, not only metrics, but like metrics really do help build a valuable strategy that works Sometimes you miss it because you don't have metrics before your eyes. They were like, we're not reaching people. And I was like, let's look at the metrics. And yeah, we're reaching people 7 times as much as we were the same time right now than we were last year. And they thought we weren't because we're using a scheduler, because they had a preconceived notion that scheduling posts is a bad thing. Well, it's not, especially because Facebook offers a free scheduler. You can use Facebook or Meta's scheduler. I think you can even use it for Instagram now. So I think there's endless possibilities. I know you can schedule on YouTube. I schedule posts on YouTube. You might be watching this on YouTube, and this was definitely scheduled. God bless you, YouTube, for the scheduler. Like, you can schedule posts, and there's, external schedulers that work really well too, that will like schedule for all the platforms. We use one here at Helps Too called Buffer. Super great. So yeah, and they're not even paying me to say that. It's just we do. So why not, guys? Why not? Why make this harder for yourself? And people are trying to, make you do things their way, but like find a way for you where you can focus on what's important, despite. So like, yeah, find your way, okay? And if you got to schedule, you got to schedule, all right? That's it. That's all there is to it. All right, number 4. It's becoming, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, a pay-to-play environment. So listen, I kind of alluded to this earlier. This was their plan from the beginning. Like when brother Mark Zuckerberg sat down and made Facebook, it wasn't, maybe it was. I don't know him, so I haven't had a full conversation. But like, he probably wanted to see money from it. Why dedicate your life to something if you're not going to ever get a return from it? Maybe he really just did want to see us all communicate and be happy, but I think it was a little deeper than that, guys. That's why he dropped out of Harvard, I believe it was. So long story short, they knew this day was coming to where if you're a company, a brand, an artist, anybody who has like a business profile on like Instagram or not just a business profile, but like even on YouTube, like engagement on YouTube, I got like 18,000 views on a video back in like, oh goodness, like 2007. And that was in 3 days. And it was the most ragged looking video I've ever posted in my life. And it's probably down now as a musician. And if I were to post that video right now, I wouldn't get that. And so the reality is if you do really want to reach people, and I guess you really need to look at your end goals for this, but it's a pay-to-play environment, and there's nothing wrong with paying to play. They want you to. They favor it. So, yeah, we absolutely pay to play here at Helps Too. I pay to play as a musician. I run YouTube ads. I've ran ads on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Like, why not? Like, if you have the means, like if you could put aside, $25, $50, $100, $400, $500, $1,000. Like if that is possible, why not? And there was a season where as a musician, I was literally boosting. I would put out one cover a week and I would boost it by $25 on Instagram, lead a bunch of people back to YouTube, and my YouTube revenue would go up because of it. And it was like the coolest strategy at the time. It's not working as much as it did because things have changed. Like it wasn't Reels on Instagram. So it was just like I could put video up and it was really cool. So I just had to adjust my strategy, but like you can find a strategy that works for you. And so it is a pay to play. And if you're serious about growing on social media and you can see a return from it, consider putting into order a budget for yourself. Now, if you're new to this kind of thinking, I feel like this might feel like a lot, or it might feel a little like snaky, but it's not. Yeah, and I would be lying to you if I only gave you organic tips. I don't think that's fair to you. I want you to know the real. And I heard a stat the other day from a music podcast that one of the biggest artists that I love, they put $200,000 a month behind advertising. The record label does that. So I just want to let you know that there's a lot of people out here that are paying to play. And a good way to see, whatever industry you're in, whether you're a musician, a designer, an entrepreneur, you're selling t-shirts, whoever you look up to, go to the Facebook. I think it's called right here. I have it. It's the Meta Library because they've changed the name because it's now Meta, not Facebook only. You can search for a competitor or even more generally like the industry and see the ads that they're running. I bet you money that you will find ads. And to be honest, it's not even sneaky. I think Facebook really appreciates being transparent. transparent advertising, because they've probably gotten reamed in the past, but they want you to be able to see what's happening in your industry. And I think it's really great if you never ran ads before, or maybe you're looking for new ideas for the ads that you're running, you can see the kind of ads they're running, what the creative looks like are they using video, pictures, whatever, what platforms they're advertising on, because they have like Messenger, Instagram, Facebook. I think it's really fascinating. You would be surprised. I'm always really surprised when I look up like a musician or somebody I think is really organic, and they're not at all. They're using huge budgets in advertising. So if somebody seems to blow up organically, I want you to think to yourself that it's probably like fueled by ads or some kind of advertising. Because it's really rare for someone to blow up organically nowadays, especially like artists and musicians and stuff like that. So yeah, just to give you some insight and to give you some peace that you don't have to work so hard to like blow up. You just need to be prolific, bearing much fruit, consistent, and probably you need a little bit of an ad budget. Just being transparent. Number 5, if you feel like reach and growing on social media is really hard for you, you don't have the time to put in the engagement, consider a growth service. I know that sounds, y'all, I'm bringing tips that probably no one talks about. I know that sounds a little like, why would I ever do that? But let me tell you why, okay? Not everyone has the time to put in on social media. I get it. And that doesn't mean that social media for you is not important. And while I encourage you to never, ever, ever, it will kill your Instagram following, your TikTok following, never buy followers, because they will know and they will take away all of your engagement power. I promise you, I have seen it happen. Don't buy followers, guys. Do not buy followers. You can use a growth service. And what a growth service does is they give you a representative that like will actually help you like engage on your behalf. I've used it before and I think it is super okay. A lot of like major artists do it. A lot of creatives, they have a team that like helps them engage. They post for them because they don't have the time. And so the reality is you could pay like $100 to probably $1,000 every month for a growth service if you want to like get brand deals one day, but you don't have the time to spend growing your Instagram or your Facebook, probably not your Facebook, but like your YouTube or whatever. You can do that. So I do encourage a growth service. I don't encourage buying followers. Let's just fine line in the sand. Let's make a fine line in the sand, okay? One that works really well that I use for my personal Instagram is a Send Viral. I love their team. They're super helpful. They only believe in working and like really socializing with people that are like really relevant to you. So they're not just like going and talking to like Joe Blow from, God knows where. Like they really are trying to socialize with people that do what you do or like would be interested in what you're offering. So I love it. And how it works is you sign up with their service and they have someone get in touch with you. You let them have access to your account on Instagram. And then they start, they ask you some questions and like kind of get to know you better and ask you like who you consider yourself to be like, et cetera, et cetera. And they go and they start engaging on your behalf. And so really, really cool. I recommend if you like to sign up and try a trial, I am a partner with them. You can absolutely do so. There's a link in the description of this video, or if you're on a podcast app, there's a link in the show notes. Click. I think it's a 5-day trial. So check it out. They won't charge you. They'll let you know at the end of the trial that the trial is over, and you can kind of get started with them and see how it works for you. I personally always tried to test things for like anywhere, honestly, from like a month to 3 months. So yeah, I think it has been super successful. They really do. They say if we don't give you the results we tell you we'll give you, then we're not going to take your money. So I think it's really, really cool. All right, number 6, número 6. Social media is going to favor in this season and the seasons to come the disruptors. And what a disruptor is, it's someone that does it different, that says, I'm tired of fitting in. I'm going to do it my way. I'm different. I'm going to disrupt how it's always been. Good news, you don't have to follow every trend on social media to be a disruptor. So you don't have to do like every dance or, you know what I mean? Like you just don't have to do all that. But there is the challenge of you can't play it safe anymore either. So if you want to be a disruptor, which I really feel like social media already kind of favors it and is going to favor even more, you really have to get to a place and figure out like what your vision is, like brand yourself. Like as an artist, a musician, because I do music as Martay, I was like, I need to take it up a notch and be high fashion. I need to not be your best friend next door anymore. I think I need to be that mysterious high fashion cousin that comes over to the cookout and you're kind of like, what country were you in last week? Like, we love you. We know you. You're our cousin, but like, you're always doing something that we can't quite like tap into. We want you. We're excited to know more about you. There's a mystery to you, you know? That's the cousin I want to be at the cookout when it comes to my brand, you know? And you have to be the disruptor. And so it doesn't always have to, you know, it doesn't mean you're going to be high fashion. It doesn't have to always be that, but like what is going to make you different? And honestly, sometimes being a disruptor is that you just show up consistently in that space and you become the voice and you do it with confidence. And the confidence is the very thing that disrupts your industry because nobody has had the confidence to show up daily preaching the same message or having a podcast about it or whatever. Like be that person. Social media is going to favor you if you are. So, I think, you know, just honestly, when it comes to being a disruptor, it is that someone that leaves people excited to see what's next. And I think you got to figure out what that is for you. And that's kind of exciting. It's a cool journey to be on. So, number 7, guys, the last number. Social media, and do not come for me on this one. It can't be the only way you sustain your business this year or in the years to come. And if you're watching any influencers or people who really got big on social media, you know that they have diversified their business. Social media is not the way that they get lead magnets or leads. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, the last podcast, we talked all about how to get leads into your business, the people that you want to be in your business, the people you want to sell to come to you, how to get that bridge made and connected and people walking over it and into your doors or into your inbox, whatever. How to get those people, how to make those connections. Social media can't be the only way. Of course it can be a way, but it shouldn't be the only way. It's not promised. It's not here forever. The algorithms aren't going to stay the same. So figure out another way. And a good way to do that is to go watch that podcast. If you were not, if you did not hear it, I think you need to go back and listen to it because it will absolutely give you some ideas, right? And just make sure it's not the only way you're bringing financial kind of like sustainability to yourself and your business, your artistry, your projects. It's not the only way you're reaching people, not the only way you're making a difference. It can be one way. I think it's powerful. I love social media. I think it's so powerful. Back in the day, you used to have to pay $100,000 for a billboard, and you could still do that, but you can also use social media. You know what I mean? It's free. So use it, but don't let it be the central engine to your business or your artistry. Don't let it. Let it be a huge part if you want it to be. That's cool, but not the center. Because I think what you have on the inside of you is way bigger than that. It's way bigger than that. So I want to challenge you this year to reach people in a way that you have never reached them before, but with your same message, with your same artistry, with your same business model that you want to bring to the world and your community. So this has been a lot of fun, guys. With that, that's 7 ways, things, trends. I don't think they're trends. I think they're long lasting, to be honest. But 7 things you need to know about social media this year. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And if you're not, I will see you in the next episode of the Creatives Conversation. I love you guys, and I will check you soon. And I'm so glad that I'm here helping you help others with your dream, your vision, everything that you're called to be. That's why we're called Helps Too. I will see you later. Peace out.